Hello and welcome to Code with Brylie. We're continuing working today on the Western Friend website. The source code for this project is available on github.com under the Western Friend organization and the westernfriend.org repository. It's open source and contains many features that you might find valuable in your own projects. We're writing with Python, Django, and the Wagtail CMS. We also have many issues and accept contributions of all types, bug reports, feature requests, help with some of our open issues. So feel free to stop by and filter for our good first issues. We have a few of those. You might be able to help us write a little bit of code and improve our project. We are live. The website is visible at westernfriend.org. Currently, I'm in the middle of a task creating a common content viewset group. We're going to continue that task. Here, switch to the Wagtail generic view set and page view set for model administration. So our project is running. I'll show you real quick as we're getting started with a new session here. Wagtail lets us easily define content management pages and layouts and menus. What we're doing is taking a previously defined menu called community, where it has several sub-items, and moving these sub-items over to a new menu item called content. So far I've moved one of those sub-items, the events. There's 5 remaining. Hopefully most of these will just be straightforward, a few lines of code plus and minus. And we'll look at how these are defined. The idea though is Wagtail 6 has removed the old way of defining these called model admin and introduced a new way of defining these menus and screens called like a generic view set or a model view set. It's generally called view sets, and essentially it's just defining lists of content with some actions and filters. And just thinking about a few of these, if you could remove some of these filters. But anyway, let's continue. So if I just go top to bottom here under the community, next one that we're going to look at is directories. We'll just create one. This is the model admin rendering. It's pretty nice, fairly feature rich, but unfortunately has been moved out of Wagtail core and may or may not be maintained or improved in the future. So if we want to stick close to the Wagtail core and receive all the improvements that Wagtail are continually making in terms of usability and features, we need to go over to this new way of doing that. So let's look at the community directories code. And I've given more background on this in the previous session from today, so I'll try to get straight into the code. But essentially what we're defining here is a common menu called a view set group. It's just the way you define this top level menu. This content is a view set group, and these events is a view set. There's multiple view sets under a view set group. So here we can see the content view set group is only a few lines of code. Currently contains one view set. So all we're going to be doing is just adding another view set here. But we have to define that view set. So here's the view set for events. And what we're going to do is find where our community directory is defined. I believe it is defined here. If I go to Wagtail Hooks, for example, community Wagtail Hooks, we have Molly Wingate blog, and here it is, the community directory model admin. So now in our community namespace, we're going to remove these model admins, but before doing that, we have to create the equivalent view sets. So we'll do that in a new file called views. And views.py conventionally is used in Django to define views that essentially they're functions, more or less, or classes that can pull content out of a database, render it, and respond to requests via HTTP. Or yeah, that's basically it. And with Wagtail, we don't have to really think about those too much because its page model handles all that logic for us. But now we're going to introduce a couple of them. We'll come back to this, and it's going to look basically like this. It's an event view set. So we're going to get our initial imports. I'm at the very minimum, we need this page listing view set, and that might be all we need for this first one. Into the community, and then we're going to import the model. And the model we're going to invent is a directory or community directory. We will introduce online worship and other ones as needed, but for now I'm just going to keep it simple and see if we can get some help from Copilot, ChatGPT. So we're going to create a community directory view set. It will use the community directory model. It will be called directories, and it will be accessible at the directories URL, and it will just list the title. That looks good. Search fields, ordering doesn't quite work. Filter set class is none. So this one we don't need to explicitly define yet. Then I need to instantiate it. And to do so, we're just going to go over here to our common views and add this alphabetically, and we'll do our import. And for the name, I'll have to, well, directories maybe is fine. I'm not even really sure if we're using this community directories. Page listing view says no attribute title column. So that was a hallucination. Clearly not going to work. We'll fix that later if we need to even manage this. I don't think we need to define the columns on this particular one. Cool. We've got our code written. And again, here's the old model. And if I refresh this page, now under our content, we have two. Okay, so yeah, they're still alphabetical. We have two items. And the new model, it just looks like it works. It's listing the directory. I can go in and edit that. Yeah, I think we're good to go here. Not much change was needed. I've been committing the pluses and minuses separately, but at the end of the day, they're getting squashed and merged into the main branch. So maybe I don't have to be so kind of meticulous with my commits. So what I will do is just remove, now that we know this is working, I won't commit that change. Any commented code I will remove. We're not defining a custom view set here, filter set. So we'll clear that out. Then in our Wagtail hooks for the community directory model admin, I can look at the definition. So yeah, we're using the same group, same menu label. This name is what happens in the URL, so it's kind of corresponding with the menu label. That makes sense. Searching across title and ordering, which doesn't work currently, by title. In the future, we will want it to order by title. I will just leave that there. Excellent. I hope they are going to add that for these page listing view sets. I opened a Stack Overflow question about that. So since we're removing some code now, we're no longer using the community directory model. And we're going to repeat this for the online worship in just a moment. And then that means we got a little bit of error here. Our code won't run until I do this. Yeah, and essentially the change is this. We refresh it. Now the directories are listed here and they're not under here. So we've got 4 remaining tasks. I'm just going to repeat this process. The slight variations, I suppose, there will be, because we're going to look in different namespaces at least. So we'll go ahead and maximize this. And I can commit all of these together. So we added the community directory view set and removed it. That's about it. And stage the changes, commit. We don't have the pull request yet. We've got a branch. I'll open the pull request shortly. So now we're going to repeat that. Online worship. And it's going to look like this. Model online worship, globe online _ worship for the URL. And title looks good. Then I'll just register it with our, and we'll do these alphabetically, continuing to do them alphabetically, get our import. And I'm just going to go ahead and remove this. Which means then I can remove it from here. And here, look at that. Okay, we're really making progress. We're getting down to it. There's just a couple more in the documents and then this WF pages model. So these are the last ones, 3 more. Let's just verify our changes in the user interface. So now we have content, online worship. I will add one. Online meetings for worship. Hosted by, and it needs to be a meeting. We'll publish. There we go. And under the community, we only have the 3 remaining ones. Very cool. So again, migrate to, whoa, cancel that. This one, migrate to online worship view set. We can synchronize the changes. I don't have the pull request open yet. All right, so now we'll have 2 under our documents and 1 under WF pages. Let's continue here. So this becomes our reference. I got 2 references that are essentially the same. We may need to filter. I don't think so, but let's check our documents. Let's see how they render. So if I go to, for example, the community, public board documents, it's just put it as today, and then you need something in the body. Publish that. So yeah, old way of doing it, and pretty much just using the tile. So this is very generic. I'm going to create a meeting document. It's the same. In fact, I don't think there's much. I see. Yeah, we sort of created separate collections for board documents and meeting documents. Because they behave a little bit differently, and they have a publishing meeting, document type, publishing date, similar but different. All right, and we'll just put like rich text. And this has some filters. So filtering by document type, live status, and the publication date. So we will reuse the code more or less from here. It's very similar. Okay, we can do that. So we will now go into the documents namespace, and we do have views.py here. Let's move it over here. It's empty. I just hadn't cleaned it up, but we're going to use it now. So we're going to need all of these, just based on my initial inspection. Then we import the models from models, public board document, and meeting document. Maybe we want a filter set there for that. Why not? Let's see if it works. We'll come back to this. Oops. Maybe I'll just do 2 at once for this, because again, these are all going to get squashed, as we say in Kansas. All right, cup of tea. Now, this is real cowboy style, generative AI cowboy style. I'm going to just pop these in. I'm curious, I'm just thinking for a moment, if we can do a horizontal divider, or if this should be, no, we shouldn't add another menu item. And do these imports. And the problem is alphabetical sorting is a bit confusing here. Let me see if there's a way of doing a horizontal divider in a view set group. That's kind of a rare sound in Finland. They're using both US and UK, or US and Europe siren sounds. Okay, I'm looking for a divider. Since we've got a viewset group, and items is a tuple of viewset classes or instances to be grouped together. So I can't do the horizontal dividers. That's okay. It would be a nice touch. Okay, so again, this is just cowboy code. The thing is running. I'm just going to check. I'm going to peek over here and see if I refresh. What do we get under content? Meeting documents and public board documents, and they more or less just work. Wow. Huh. That is really cool. Well, I mean, the code, the AI generated code just works. But I just realized, dang it. There's no way to get to the edit page. You have to display the title for that. Okay, okay. So in order to do that, we have to do, and I've not done that for the directories. I did that for the directories, but not for events. I'm displaying the title, but not using the title widget. This is the small, subtle distinction we'll fix. Online worship is good because I define the columns. And so these documents, so what I need to do is just look at our column definitions. And this one in particular is a title column. Which one was good? The events was good. Views, events. Huh. Must not have been the one. Content. Yeah, events was the wrong one. Let's look at directories. Okay. So if we look at community, views, that's because we didn't define it at all. Title column. The strange thing is the title column design is inconsistent with whatever the default title column layout is. Fix that. So now if at least we refresh and we look here, content, directories, title. So this is the default, the generic default one. But if I go to the events, which I think I just changed to the title column, didn't I? Yeah. Didn't work. It's strange. Online worship was the default view of the meeting documents. Dang it. Just gonna do this so I can, it's a bad practice, I know. Add menu on. Components. Laces. Interesting. So we'll need to be able to get to the action of editing these. For whatever reason, the title column doesn't give us actions to edit, but whatever this is what I'm actually after. You have a link to the edit page. You've got some options. What is this thing called? That's what I need. Same thing in magazine. I just totally realized. It's whatever I use in magazine. I don't think I defined anything specific for magazine. archive issues. This is what I ended up using. It's like different. Let's see what it is first. The archive issues. It's got like a blue link. Similar behavior, but different style. Title wrapper, title. Title wrapper. It's missing the title. All right, well, let's at least see what is it in the archive. So if I go to the magazine now, and we do the view here, magazine issue, archive issue, view set, page title column, Oh, navigate to children column, and page table. Let me see what this is. So if I switch from page title column to page table. And refresh. No, of course not. Well, I think this lets you construct your own. That's not gonna work. Okay. But there was this one, navigate to children column, which I think would be useful. Let's see what that looks like. We're getting off in the woods a bit. Uncharted territory, undocumented territory. We'll go to the magazine issues and see what that changed. Oh, wow. That was it. I needed that. Yeah, this is it looks worse. It is the page title column. Why the page title column looks different is an open question. Yeah, perfect though. This was what I was wondering. So I can answer my own question. On Stack Overflow. Let's see if this is documented though. It's not. We will go to the questions I've asked. Whoops. What is it? Markdown. I think Markdown, right? Actually, this should link to the source code. And if we go to the Wagtail source, search for this. Interesting. And let's add that with a screenshot, you know. Okay. Where did it go? Where did it go, Mac? Sometimes I just get so frustrated with Apple stuff. And I'm not even sure really how to formulate this question here. About the differences in styles. Is it a bug? Is it a feature? All right, I'm going to do it. Whoops, wrong button, wrong button. Ask another question. page listing views it. I think this is a new question as well. It's not always exciting to write Stack Overflow questions, but nonetheless, here we are. That's how we're going to get these asynchronous processes going and hopefully make improvements to Wagtail for everybody. I think these inconsistencies other people will notice. I can dig deeper into Wagtail to look at how this default one is implemented or enabled or whatever. and see what, you know, why the default. I think this is going to be like a, and see the layout. I think this is like a table layout. Sort of an undocumented feature. Page table is what? I can actually verify that pretty easily. So if I hop back over and I look at the default way that it does it, which was now here, I inspect it, we'll see if it's a table or not. So let's maximize this and see code, and it is a page table. Listing full width, okay. But for this particular, there's the bulk action checkbox. So that's in its own column. Here's the title column. Here's the title wrapper. Maybe it's just a matter of specifying the class here. So for all of that, TD, data listing page title, classes title, and title wrapper. That worked. Okay, it's just missing a class. All right. I think we can fix that. If I recall, when I read the code, this page title column, it seems like the class name isn't being applied. It seems like a bug. I'll just edit the Stack Overflow issue to include the additional context. So I think this is a bug. Just used to writing Python Markdown. Yes. So yeah, just grab all there. Hey, long live Chow. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Here's the default markup. A lot of space in there. ... From page title. Widget. Just want to make sure. Widget was starting to sound weird, but it's a widget. And it's essentially, I'm just going to make sure I'm going to copy and paste it, but it's essentially this. So I inspect that, and then we have this, that thing, and no, dang. Well, tile wrapper, and then we had another UL after that, actions, UL actions. Classic actions. Trying to improve this so that, you know, everybody's wagtail experience is improved. This seems like a legit bug. I just want to get it documented, and then we can copy it over there. There was one other thing I was going to mention. What was it? The markup's different. Yeah, I was just going to link to the code for the page title widget. So let's just find that one. Oops. Where did I just find that? Page title column. I don't know if this is it. Because there doesn't seem to be a page title widget. It's the page title column. Now, I don't know if this is a bug or if there's some other abstraction that I'm supposed to be using here. And really the only way to find out we have an ordering column, huh? So it looks like if I want to control the ordering, then I'll need to use an ordering column, which again wasn't documented instead of the ordering attribute. Let's commit that one change. Let's see, where are we at? So this is what I really like about open source, and also one of the more painful parts of open source, illustrated in one common issue. One is the documentation is like a struggle, and it's not specific to open source. In fact, the documentation on the projects at my work is like horrible. We don't really have that, and there's even hostility towards code comments. That said, I don't know how many workplaces are like that. But on the other hand, in both cases, I guess, you can inspect the source and kind of go in there and fix it. So I don't know if it's specific to open source, but I really appreciate being able to view source, getting in there, seeing how it works, and fixing things. Whereas on a proprietary thing where I'm not working on the project, of course, that's out of my reach. All right. So the magazine views, let's commit this. This was a good one. Add navigate to children column. And then what did we do here? We added these, and then I can remove them. It needs to be a page title column, though, if I recall correctly. Page title column. Maybe that's the key difference. Maybe that's the key difference. Views.py. That's maybe the view. Where's the page title column? Right till you write tables, pages. Now we're going to the events view. Let's refresh it. Events. Nah, it's the same issue, isn't it? But at least we have the link there. Page title column. The reason all this is relevant is now I want to try this ordering column real quick. Although it doesn't take much. It's just coming from the base column. It just has a different template. Back till I'm in pages, page title cell. Back till I'm in pages listing. Back till admin, pages listing, page title cell. Back till I'm in. Yeah, I don't know where they define the templates. And where does that come from? It should do this by default. That's what I don't understand. Yeah. So it seems like a bug in terms of the default behavior, but okay. I'll answer my own question. Let me try it in a couple of other spots just to make sure. I think this is the solution though. All right, so in our events listing, we have columns and we defined those. Let's close that. Magazine, community. We're going to continue working here. Events, title column, class name equals title. Right, it's the event view set. So if I refresh this page, fixes it. Okay. I wonder why. Maybe this is a Pythonic thing when I'm confusing it, but I think classes have default values. And if you don't shadow them, I think that should be maybe data classes. I'm not sure what's going on here. Page title, gosh, it's so much little column. Page listing view sets. Hey, Christian and Daniel, welcome. Okay, I don't know if I'm getting a lot of bots or something here. And then the default was, where was that? Okay. Well, at least if I have this problem in the future, I'll know how to fix it. Maybe other people will need this same fix. All right, so that means we're just going to need to go through anywhere we're using page title column. First, we're just going to start using page title column, or in whichever order we do it. Class name equals title. Class name equals title. Class name equals title. Class name equals title. And we need to save this file. And then we import and instantiate. How's everybody doing today? Hope you're having nice weather and enjoyable weekend wherever you are. And the other aspect is I'll need to start adding these page title columns. Cool. Let's see if we can commit some things here. Documents, events. So we'll add, wow, okay. Twitch scam you. Let's see if I can block that user. I'm gonna block the user. Okay. When I ban and block, it should remove the message anyway. So we're gonna just commit these ones real quick. Add a class name title, class name title. All right, now we're almost there with the documents ones, right? We're just going to remove them. Let's first double check that they are correct. And there's some filtering, some filters that were defined. Let's see if those worked. I'm going to close out Stack Overflow, close out the Wagtail source. We're going to go to content. We'll go to the meeting documents. We'll look at our filters, document types, and publishing meeting, I think. So we got publication date. That one we will want a date range. Title doesn't need to be there. Publishing meeting, that's a good one. Document type, epistle, that's a good one. All right, so those are working. This was hallucinated code and I didn't read it thoroughly. I just kind of wanted to go cowboy style and see if it worked. It worked pretty good though. But so now we need to go to the documents, views, look at the filter set first. We don't need a title filter because that's already in the search. Publication date and the live status for the board document, maybe. And then if we're going to override the field in a moment. We don't need the title one. Publication date, public meeting, and live status. Publishing meeting, document title. Those all look good to me. The difference we need to do is publication date equals Django filters dot date to and from. I think so, and maybe we'll do that for both the board docs. Yeah, I think those will both be useful. Now if we refresh, we look at the publication date. Now we have a nice date to and from picker. Go to content, board documents, publication date. Were there document types? I think so. We can find that out. Public board document. If I just look at the model real quick. Category. Yeah, let's add that. Let's add that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I like it. I think it's good enough to remove the old code. All right. So to remove the old code, we just go to Wagtail hooks. We remove these. That's going to cause some squiggles. We remove the squiggles. Well, we're down to 1. Go ahead and push them all up to GitHub real quick. I'll take a quick bio break, refresh my tea, and we'll just do the last Molly Wingate blog one, and this will be done, this whole section, and we'll all continue later. But yeah, let me take a break. I'll be right back. All right. Looks like the moderator finally deleted the message and it's now cleared from the chat. I can re-hide the chat. All right, so we've got one more change to make. This Molly Wingate blog page model admin. That is in the WF Pages models. Which also might be able to, we might be able to wrap that into this content, this generic content nav menu that we're adding, because otherwise, where was that? There's this general wagtail page, but then we also have our own custom page, which I guess we didn't add a navigation thing. All right, Molly Wingate blog, let's get it, let's find it. Molly Wingate blog, WF Pages. So I think I can kind of remove these. I can close this, documents, and in the views, now everything, all the references goes here, and in the Molly Wingate blog, under WF Pages. We have a views.py, it's empty, so we will split the view, and we will need hooks. No. It's very fast and it looks good. Now we go to not our community, but our content. All right. Just minimize that content. Or common, that is common. And we will add, content views. There we go. Common views. With that, import. I think we're good. And then we can refresh. Molly Wingate blog pages. There aren't any. Create a blog post. Gosh, it just jumped so abruptly. Maybe it's the mouse, and it's again Apple favoring Apple products. That makes other mice behave differently. Perhaps the scroll wheel. I don't know. I'm complaining. Now we've got that. Now we've got that. Content. Molly Wingate blog. We got blog post 1. Some things. Location, date. Live. Looks good. Then we will remove it. We will remove it. We no longer need this. We no longer need to register it. Now we only need the hooks to register my little JavaScript, which I have another task to clean that up. Looking good. Synchronize those changes. I think we're ready to open the pull request. Now we no longer have the community one. We have a content, contacts. Magazine. I wonder why those have the same weight. But they're not sorted alphabetically. I'll double check. $100. $100. In any case, it's easy to fix. I mean, honestly, these all should be alphabetized, but the tier 1, the 100s are alphabetized now. No, I don't know. You know, we haven't reviewed this again on a mental mapping, like how well it aligns with our sort of mental model of the content and desired ordering. How difficult is it to find these things? Are there more, frequent things that should be surfaced higher? That's sort of the general aim, is to, most common things would be towards the top. I can see the alphabetical sorting would be valuable as well. Nonetheless, we've got it. We've got it. I'm going to call it good for this content migration. We will open the pull request now. Not that one, it's this one. By clicking that little button and using our magic wand. And I have this relating to 938. Yeah, and we'll take a quick look while the CI is running at the remaining use of model admin in our code base. Can we remove it yet? Let's see. this? The library, store, subscription, and tags. Cool. Well, I'm definitely not going to do that today. Well, at least not now. I'm going to go for a walk. But we're in the home stretch, I think. The library is the next complex piece where we have several items. And the rest of them are small. So I might be able to do all those in one pull request. Excellent. One bit at a time. But I probably won't, because the changes should be kind of clustered together. For example, the library, it would make sense to do this all in one pull request, but not to get it mixed up with the bookstore, which would be a separate pull request. Nonetheless, I could do them in one session. I sit down for 2 or 3 hours maybe, or 1 hour hopefully at this time. We've got the code examples, and we figured out the complex questions. On Stack Overflow, I answered my own questions, so maybe the changes will be a lot quicker. Yeah. So let's go ahead and hop over here. Check our pull request. And Sorcery is going to get some suggestions, doc strings. I'm not really interested in those. Just download them. So this was a bit more, a couple hundred lines of code. Let's check our blue dots. So it's just the pull request I'm working on right now. A bit fatigued, and it's a nice day, so I'd like to go enjoy some sunlight. Yeah, good to go. CI passes. All right, let's squash and merge. Okay, well, thanks for stopping by. This has been another live code hangout. Code with Brylie. We've been working on our Western Friend website, made with Wagtail CMS and the Django web framework. If you'd like to get involved with this project, you can stop by github.com/westernfriend/westernfriend.org, and you can see the Western Friend website live. Currently, we're in a post-launch milestone. We're in maintenance mode. We're trying not to add too many new features. We have most of the features already completed. This is an upgrade from Wagtail 6 feature that was added and one that was removed. The model admin was removed, so some maintenance work, essentially. Very cool. Well, thanks for your time. I hope you're doing well, and have a great day.